Thank you for watching New Day here on CNN Philippines. The former Quezon City chairman of the Liberal Party, who was also a vice mayoral bet for PDP-Laban in 2019, is replacing veteran broadcaster Noli de Castro in presidential aspirant Isko Moreno's senatorial slate. Aksyon Demokratiko confirms Jopet Sison has joined them and will be running for a seat in the upper chamber. Now, let's get up close and personal with Jopet Sison, who joins us live via Zoom. Good morning, Jopet. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Ria. Thank you for having me, and good morning to everyone watching up close.
All right, Jopet, before deciding to run for the Senate, you already filed for a certificate of candidacy for QC District Representative. Can you tell us how exactly did you end up taking Noli de Castro's slot in Aksyon Demokratiko's senatorial slate?
Yes, Ria, the original plan is really to run for Congress. But I was informed that I was part of the short list for the senatorial slate. But since it was already filled up by back then by Kabayan, I continued with my original plan of running for Congress in the 4th District.
All right. Why do you think it was you, who in particular, who was chosen to take his place when he withdrew his candidacy?
Well, the party has a search committee, and they adopted several criteria. I was part of that short list. Fortunately, I was chosen to replace Kabayan when he backed out.
Right. Well, Jopet, certainly you are no stranger, no newbie to politics. You have experience in local politics, where you were a member of the Liberal Party in the 90s, sitting as Quezon City 4th District Councilor from 1992 to 1998. You also ran for Quezon City Vice Mayor under PDP-Laban back in 2019. And that's when you lost to Gian Soto by just a slim margin. Now, which of these experiences do you think can help you land a seat in the Senate?
Well, as to qualifications, I've been a councilor for 6 years. Prior to that, I even legislated in the barangay level. So in terms of legislation, I think my track record will show that during this time that I was a legislator for the city, I passed more than 250 laws. I had best attendance during that time, and I was able to have approved landmark legislations for the city. The process of legislation is more or less similar in the local legislation for the city, as well as the Senate. The rules, Robert's Rules of Order applies. The process of legislation are more or less the same. And even the number in the city council, there are 24 councilors back then. And here in the Senate, there will be 24 also. So probably the level of debate would be more intense in the Senate. So as to qualification, I believe I can do the job. As to the winnability, well, of course, I'm banking on name recognition based on my experience in politics, and also based on the services we have rendered through our program, Ipaglaban Mo.
There are a number of re-electionists and former senators trying to make a comeback in 2022. It's a very tight race. There are so many candidates. How confident are you that you can win this election? You've mentioned your experience and name recall because you were in the media with a show that you had with your father several years back.
Yeah. Well, I always presume that when election time comes, the playing field is leveled. Each person gets one vote, whatever status you are in. I'm also relying on the help of the party and the volunteer groups under the party, and supporting Isko Moreno Dumagoso in order to assist us in campaigning nationwide.
Jopet, as I mentioned, you have a background in media. You also have an extensive background in public housing. What are your advocacies if indeed you do win a seat at the Senate?
Yeah, we're starting to go around, and as we go around, we do not waste time. We consult, we enter into dialogues so that we can come up with our legislative agenda, and likewise for the for Isko Moreno, his executive agenda. I have my own. I espouse transparency. I espouse housing, of course, that's where I came from, and also devolution, because that is also where I came from. But as we go around, we see the immediate needs. The Mayor Isko wants to provide field hospitals in the whole country to address the pandemic issue. And just yesterday, we had a dialogue with the farmers. He intends to execute tax cuts on oil prices and tax cuts likewise on electricity.
All right. Are there any laws, Jopet, that you think need to be amended? And if ever, what would your priorities be?
As to amendments of laws, there would be several degrees. Well, probably a major amendment would be a constitutional change on the form of government, specifically pertaining to, we can discuss on federalized government or an adoption of that, so that we can provide for a government more near the people. That's a major amendment to the laws, but we can think also of several major legislations. My immediate thought right now is amendments on the budget itself. The most important law passed every year is the budget, and there has been so much talk about transparency in this budget that I think it is high time we provide amendments in terms of presentation of the budget. The issue of pork barrel can really be resolved through transparency by coming up with a democratized budget where it is open for every Filipino to scrutinize and to view, so that specific line items in this budget would easily be available, and so that we can avoid lump sum appropriations, being transparent, avoiding irregularities, avoiding corruption.
Right, Jopet, I wanted to talk a little bit about your party, Aksyon Demokratiko. Now, there's been speculation of infighting within the party following the resignation of Cesar Chavez and then Florin Hilbay. And this has been denied by the party, but some say these consecutive resignations are not good, at least for the optics, right? What can you say about this?
I don't see any infighting in the party. These are circumstances which are personal to the people who left, who have resigned from the party, but they are still providing assistance and help and guidance to the party in our decisions. So there is no infighting. We do not really see where that is coming from.
All right, so no bad blood there.
No bad blood, yes.
All right. Thank you so much for your time this morning, sir. We've just spoken to senatorial aspirant Jopet Sison.